They complete the sweep of the Nationals. Phillies win their 10 of the last 11 games, obviously 4 in a row over the Nationals, as we welcome you here to Phillies Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Amy Fiddle, Ben Davis. And Ben, you said it on pregame. Different guys stepping up to contribute. Yes, I know it's the Nationals, but you saw Nick Maton, who we just heard from, stepping up. Derek Hall with a couple of home runs. What did you see today? Yeah, 6 through 9 had 8 hits, Amy, and just doing it in all kinds of fashion. You get a home run, and you get a home run, and you get 2 home runs. Reese, you hit 4 in a row. 4 days in a row. I mean, it's just, it's top to bottom. 1 through 9, this team is doing damage. And it's everybody's involved. And you love to see that from the bottom of the lineup. 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 hits. That is remarkable to have that kind of length in the lineup. And if they can sustain this throughout the rest of the year, you know what? The sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. John Kruk asked that to Nick Maton and listen, if you guys are doing this, the pitchers know there is no easy out. And I think that's the important thing is you see how the Phillies did this sweep and what they're doing right now. The Nationals, 4-game series, they had 14 home runs in this. That's the most they've had in a series. Of course, it was a 4-game series, but still 36-12 out homered them. You see the 14-11, the 10-1 record, the 14-1 as far as the out homering them. But season best, 12 games over 500. That is where you want to be. And then you look down below that. Since June 1st, 20 games over 500, third best in Major League Baseball. Yeah, that's just, they're just winning ball games. They're winning series, they're sweeping series. And like I said, the sky's the limit right now. With the pitching that they're getting, we kind of expected this from the offense. It took a little bit longer to get there than we would have liked, but that's where we're at right now. Again, that Nationals team is, you know, I'm surprised they have 36 wins, to be honest with you, Amy. But they do. Probably when Juan Soto was there. Yeah, but the Phillies still take advantage, and that's what you like to see. But everything's coming together at once. Everything is clicking right now. And, you know, I don't see any signs of this stopping. And hopefully they can get Bryce back sooner than later. And then you're really going to see some fireworks. Yeah, it's been fun to watch, and it was a fun broadcast to watch. Today's it was Alumni Day. They had the lounge, so let's go over to the lounge and check in with our John Kruk. And John, you guys had a bevy of guests over there. We saw you guys obviously reminisce with guys from 08, 93 with you, and then of course the team that was honored today, the 1980 team. What was it like being over there? I know we're going to get to the game, but you know you guys just sitting up there telling stories. I got a lot of tweets and messages. People just enjoyed listening to that.
Well, you know, I think that's what today's all about is, you know, honoring the 1980 team finally. You know, I had to wait a couple years because of the pandemic to get this. What they rightly deserved was another anniversary of their world championship. But you know, I just enjoy listening to these guys. You know, look, I've known Larry Bowa a long time. I've known Bowa a long time, and I know those two are going to pick on each other and like 2 little kids, you know, like two little brothers picking on each other at dinner. You know, that's just the way those two are. But you know, to hear Pete, to hear you know, Greg Gross and Del Unser and all those guys, you know, it's fun to listen to them talk because they beat. In that series in Houston, you know, a guy that I think he was undefeated if he had a lead going into the 7th inning, Nolan Ryan. And they came back and beat him. You know, to beat an iconic pitcher like that in one of the best postseason series in the history of baseball was just incredible to listen to the stories that they told about that game and you know, the other games leading up to that game. It just you know, if you're a former Philly and you can feel blessed enough to have the opportunity to sit down with these guys, just listen to them talk about their careers in baseball and their, you know, winning a world championship, man, you got to take full advantage. And it was just a blast today. And honestly, you can ask me anything you want about the game. I probably can't answer it because I didn't see hardly any because, you know, these guys were set behind me. And so I had to turn. And anyone who knows Larry Bowa, if you're sitting beside Larry Bowa, before someone says something funny and they start to laugh, he punches you. And I got like bruised ribs right now because he punched me repeatedly today. Every time Bull said something, he punched me. Every time Pete said something, he punched me. I got to go like ice my back right now.
That's the last thing you need, Johnny.
No, that's what I told him. You know, I'm just starting to feel better. Here you go pounding on me, man.
Johnny doesn't usually participate in the food to the booth, so it was good to see him enjoying that.
I haven't had ribs all year, so I thought, with Bull sitting here, I thought, maybe I should have one. Boa tried to steal one. There's only two, and Boa tried to steal one, so that wasn't a good move on his part.
No, well, you taught him his lesson, but it's the lounge. It's the lounge.
Well, I told him what Bull tells him. Pee-wee, I'm going to squish your head.
Oh, those two. I could listen to a broadcast, and we got to see Sarge. It was a good time today, and of course the Phillies completing the sweep made it even better. John Kruk, thanks as always, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Always good to talk to John there. I like the jazz there because that gives the lounge feel for you. We've got the wild card standings. You can see the Phillies are in a virtual tie with the Padres. Padres play tonight. They face the Dodgers. So the result of that game, the Phillies either go half game up, or I believe they would remain half game. They would go half game back, but they will still be in the wild card, whether it's the second spot or the third spot. This is where you want to be. You want to be in the driver's seat. You don't want to have to sit there and scoreboard watch too much, Ben. But as long as the Phillies take care of the teams in front of them, and luckily there are teams that are below them in the standings, they should be setting themselves up to end that playoff drought.
Yeah, Phillies, take care of your own business. You really can't worry about what the other teams are doing, but you can control your destiny by the way you play some of these mediocre ball clubs, and they've done that over the last month or so. Very favorable schedule for the Phillies on paper. We understand that, but it's just a different mentality that I'm seeing right now. It's just like blood in the water. I'm going after it, and it's the attack on the attack from inning 1 through 9, and that's what I like to see. The pitchers are on the attack, and the hitters are on the attack. It's a good combo right now, Amy. For a guy that hasn't been up the whole year, hasn't played a whole lot, especially when Didi was here, Gene Segura goes down. He takes advantage of an opportunity. It's just a lot of guys doing a lot of good stuff.
And that's what you want to see, and that's what's going to help them in that playoff drought that's going on 10 years now. Let's check in over at Citizens Bank Park with Rob Thomson after his team's win.
Thoughts on the weekend as a whole? A lot of loud contact, long innings, runs scored.
Yeah, we swung the bats all weekend. I mean, it was pretty good. You looked out today, and our entire infield was homegrown, and a lot of production out of all of them. So, says a lot about our scouting department, player development department. They're playing well, and everybody is. We're getting production from almost everybody, so it's great.
Is Reese okay after that hit by pitch?
Yeah, he was fine. I just wanted to get Sosa in a bat. Reese wanted a hit. I said, I'd like to get Sosa in a bat, and he said, yeah, that's fine. But he was ready to hit.
It seemed like it was the younger guys that really pulled the weight with the offense today. How good was that to see?
It was great, Mayton had a big day, first game back, really, and Hall with 2 home runs, and Stott drilled 2 balls to the wall and then finally got one down. I felt bad for him, and Bomer continues to swing the bat. So it's really good. And Marsh had 2 hits, so that was good for him. And the last hit he got was a line drive up the middle. So.
When you guys came out of the break, get swept by the Cubs, and you said at some point we got to go out and kind of put the pedal to the metal, and if we have the opportunity, kind of step on the necks. And I guess this is the series, kind of what you're talking about, right? A bad team, don't come in expecting to win, kind of taking it to them.
Yeah, and I think in general, it doesn't matter who the team is. If once you get on top, don't stop. Just keep going. Keep running the bases. Keep having good at bats. Don't just take for granted you got a 4-run lead and you're just going to cruise to 4-run lead in the third, and you're going to cruise through the 9th and win the game. You got to keep going. You got to keep grinding it out. And that's what they've been doing, and it's really nice to see.
Score there after getting hit by the
I think so. I think so a little bit. I don't think there was Dusty would have a big enough stop sign to stop him at that point.
Not long after you were hired, you said, or when you were hired, I think you said you got to get to 500 and you got to get to 10 games over 500, right?
Well, you go in increments of 5. So 5, and then you work to 10, and then you work to 15, and then you work to 20.
Pretty close to 50. I mean, how much higher do you think this team can get before the end of this?
Who knows? Really, we're playing good baseball. We really are. And we're getting good pitching, really played good defense the entire 4 games in the series, and we're swinging the bats right now. So, it's been a complete effort, and as long as we're doing that, we're gonna win a lot of games.
Scoreboard watching mode yet?
I always watch scoreboard. I watch scoreboard in spring training, to tell you the truth, just to see how teams are doing. And I'm very competitive that way. I want to win the Grapefruit League, and I want to win the National League East too. So it's just man.
Do you go home and watch Dodgers Padres? Because you guys could be in second place.
No. I've had enough baseball for one day. I'll watch the tape tomorrow.
What do you think of Nola today?
Not quite as sharp as he normally is. That could be, and this could have been part of Ranger last night. When you have big offensive days, pitchers sitting there for a long time in between innings, and it just, there's just no rhythm to it, and gets out of rhythm. That might have been something tonight and last night a little bit, but he battled and he fought, and he did a great job.
The past few years, the Phillies have been in position in August to make a run at the postseason. Does this feel different this year? Is this team maybe better equipped than those teams to?
I think we're better equipped, yeah. And every team's different, and I know that the last few years, we haven't played well in September, but each team was a little bit different. It wasn't the same exact group. This is a different group, and there's a lot of leadership in the clubhouse, and a lot of winners on the field, and they're playing well. And we've got an outstanding bullpen that's pitching very well. So I think there's a lot of reasons why I have a lot of confidence that this team can get right through to the end.
Did you meet anybody before the game that you wanted to meet? About meeting them?
All those guys, it's the Philly history and baseball history, and there's so many great players on that team. And I just love meeting world champions because they all have a different story. There's always, little stories within the season that they think that changed the season or put them over the top, and those are all interesting to me.
Rob Thomson talking about meeting some of the members of the 1980 squad who was honored today. Let's take a look inside the box score. You see Schwarber at the top there, 2 for 5. No home run, but doesn't matter as he got plenty of stuff done. Rhys Hoskins, we mentioned him. And then you see Long Ball Hall with 2 home runs. And then up and down, but you pointed out 6 through 8. That's a lot of crooked numbers down there.
It really is a lot of crooked numbers, but it's just, again, it's the length of this lineup is something else. You talked about Long Ball Hall. Mm-hmm. What I liked is the fact that he took him out to left field. They took Abbott out to left field in that first at bat. He's strong enough to do so. But what I really liked is they've been trying to crowd him up at the belt on the inside part of the plate, and he was able to turn on a low 90s fastball and drive it way out to right field as well. So if you start going line to line like that, if you're a pitcher, where do you go? And it can be very frustrating. I remember being behind the plate where if a guy takes you out this way, then he takes you out the other way. It's kind of like, okay, we had a game plan, but now where do we go? Because he went that way, he went this way. Now what do we do? Then you got to really start to think, and it messes with your head at times. But that was very. It was very surprising for me to see that today, and it was a happy surprise.